Hey guys, I always wanted to make a couple of accessories for my table saw, and I had some time, so I decided to make them, and I thought I'd show you. Um, this here is it's a push block, and I actually saw this on another channel. I think it's Jerry's Workshop. He's got some pretty good woodworking videos, but he made these, and I thought they were pretty ingenious. What it is it's like a push block, except for it's got this dado cut in the bottom and sandpaper glued to the bottom. And what it is it's plywood with some plywood glued to the sides. And what it allows you to do is if you're running a piece of wood across your table saw, this allows you to hold it in place. When you're running it close to the fence. That's kind of when it's the most dangerous, basically. And this push block has this notch cut out in the bottom of it, so you can pass right over your saw blade, and the sandpaper holds it down and allows you to push it. And with this dado cut in it, you're holding your piece of wood on both sides. So when you're pushing it through, you're pushing both sides and it's holding it for you. So anyway, I thought that was a really cool tool to make. And normally what I would do is if I was pushing a block of wood and I needed to get close to the table, so I would just get behind it with another piece of wood. I'd get close to the blade and I would just push it through like that. But that's kind of dangerous, and then you're trying to hold it down at the same time. So, but anyway, so building one of these things is definitely worth the time. It took me a couple hours, and then I polyurethaned it and glued the sandpaper to the bottom overnight. So, but yeah, and then I made an extra one. This is just like a sacrificial one. It's not as fancy. I glued sandpaper to the bottom. So if I have to run something through here, I don't really care about cutting this one. If I cut it, I cut it. This one I want to, try to not do that, but this one I'll try to take care of. But this is kind of like a sacrificial one, so I made two. But anyway, I thought that was a really cool idea, and I thought I'd show you that. And then the other thing I made is this featherboard, and I've always wanted to make one of these, and I just never got around to it. One of the reasons I never got around to it is because my table saw is a little different. This is a contractor table saw, and so it's like something you take to a job site or something. It's portable. But anyway, it's got these miter gauge slots on it, and they have these weird grooves cut in them for the miter gauge. And let's see, so it kind of holds it in place. So that just made it a little more difficult to make the featherboard, because I had to kind of duplicate this aluminum thing for the featherboard, and I don't know, it just made it a little bit harder. So what I did anyway is I used a piece of oak, because it's hard wood, and I kind of roughed it to about the right size, and then I cut it in half, and then what I did is I glued it. I glued this end down and this end down, about 2 inches, and I clamped it and let it dry overnight. Then once it was dry, the next day I cut it down to size, and I made it pretty much exactly the same as this thing. And then I took it to the table saw, or to the drill press. I drilled 2 holes in it, and I countersunk them for some bolts. And if you see here in the middle, see it's not glued here. These are 2 separate pieces of wood, but it's actually separated here in the middle. It's just glued on the ends. So what that allows you to do is when you put it in your table saw, when you tighten these guys up, it opens that up a little bit and it locks it in place. And I don't know, I just thought that was a really cool design. Let me just show you. So you slide it in. Alright, and then it's adjustable for your piece of wood. And then when you tighten these guys up, see, now that thing is locked in place. And not only is it holding it this way, but it's also holding it down to the table and keeping it from moving around on you. So if I loosen it up, then I want to run like a piece of wood through it. Let me grab this board. What you do is you just push this against the fence, slide this guy over, lock it in place. And there you go, and it'll hold it against the fence for me, so I don't have to, you know, get my fingers anywhere in there. And also, these fingerboards keep it from kicking back on you. So sometimes when you're cutting something, you know, the blade grabs it and wants to throw it back at you, and that kind of stops that. So these fingers hold it, put pressure on it. But so anyway, that's what I've been up to, and I thought that was a pretty nice tool to make. It's something you can do yourself. You know, it takes a little time, but I think it's worth it. And like I said, I'm gonna take care of them. I don't, I don't want to have to make them again anytime soon, because I just don't want to. But anyway, I just thought I'd show you that, and let me know what you think, guys. Thanks.